A gardener once shared something puzzling with me. His tomato plants looked full and green. The leaves were healthy. The stems were strong. Yet week after week, the harvest stayed small. Only a few tomatoes appeared. Just across the fence, another. Garden was producing baskets of vegetables in the same time. The difference was surprising. Within about 30 days, that nearby garden was harvesting nearly twice as much. At first, most people would assume the problem is water, maybe sunlight. Maybe the plants simply need more fertilizer. But here is the strange contradiction. Many gardeners eventually notice, sometimes the plants look healthy above the soil, while something important is missing below it. This situation is actually very common, especially in gardens that have been used for several seasons. If this feels confusing, you're not doing anything wrong. Many experienced growers have seen this pattern again and again across different gardens. Over time, they noticed something interesting. When a small group of overlooked soil minerals returned to the soil, harvests often improved much faster than expected. But before explaining how that happens, it helps to understand something simple about what is quietly happening inside your soil. When we look at a garden bed, we mostly see plants, leaves, and fruit. But beneath the surface, the soil is doing a quiet kind of work every single day. Many gardeners believe fertilizer alone is what feeds plants. And fertilizer can certainly help. But soil itself works more like a pantry. It stores nutrients, minerals, water, and tiny living organisms that support plant growth. Roots reach into this underground pantry. They absorb water. They take in nutrients. They interact with minerals that help guide how the plant grows. Some minerals help the plant build strong stems. Others support leaf growth. Some help plants produce flowers, which later become fruit or vegetables. The interesting part is this. A plant can look healthy even when the soil is slowly running low on certain minerals. Leaves may stay green. The plant may continue growing, but the harvest can become smaller. Fewer flowers appear. Fruits grow more slowly. Sometimes they stay smaller than expected. When gardeners see this, they often assume they simply need to try harder. More watering, more fertilizer, more attention. But very often, the real issue is not effort. It is soil balance. This brings us to one of the most common mistakes gardeners make. And it usually happens with the best intentions. When harvests slow down, many gardeners respond by watering more frequently or adding extra fertilizer. They are trying to help their plants recover. But over time, something subtle can happen in the soil. Repeated watering, rainfall. And many planting cycles can slowly move certain minerals deeper into the ground. They drift down through the soil layers, beyond where most roots are actively feeding. So the minerals are still technically present in the soil. They are no longer easily available to the plant. Gardeners may continue adding fertilizer, thinking it will solve the problem. But fertilizer alone cannot always restore the missing balance. This misunderstanding is very common. In fact, it happens in almost every garden bed that has been used for many seasons. It is not a mistake caused by inexperience. It is simply part of how soil changes over time. Another reason harvests can vary so much from one garden to another has to do with the environment. Two gardens can look almost identical from the THL outside. They may grow the same plants and receive the same sunlight, yet their harvests can be very different. Climate plays a role. Rainfall can slowly wash minerals through soil layers. Areas with frequent rain, minerals may move away from the root. Zone faster. Soil type also matters. Sandy soils tend to drain water quickly. While this can help prevent soggy roots, it also means minerals can wash away more easily. Clay soils behave differently. They hold on to minerals much longer. Sometimes they hold them too tightly, making it harder for plant roots to absorb them. Even the age of a garden matters. Older beds that have grown vegetables for many seasons slowly lose balance as plants take minerals out of the soil year after year. When gardeners understand this, something important becomes clear. Large harvest differences are often not about skill. They are usually about mineral availability. Now we can begin looking at the first mineral that often wakes up plant growth again. One of the most important minerals for many garden plants is magnesium. Magnesium plays a quiet but powerful role in plant health. It helps plants capture sunlight and turn it into energy. This process helps fuel strong growth and steady fruit production. Magnesium also supports how roots absorb other nutrients from the soil. When magnesium levels drop too low, plants may still look green at first, but their growth becomes slower. Leaves may start showing faint yellow areas between the veins. Harvests can gradually decline. For many gardeners, restoring this one mineral can help plants regain their strength surprisingly quickly. But something even more interesting happens. When we look deeper into how minerals work together, many gardeners assume each mineral works alone. In reality, minerals behave more like a team. This is the discovery many gardeners find surprising. Certain minerals help plants absorb other minerals. If one key mineral is missing, the plant may struggle to use the nutrients already present in the soil. For example, a gardener might add fertilizer containing important nutrients, but without the right supporting minerals, those nutrients may never fully reach the plant's internal systems. It is a bit like having food in the kitchen but no way to cook it. Once the balance returns, plants suddenly begin using what was already available in the soil. This is often the moment gardeners notice a change. Leaves grow a little stronger. New flowers appear more frequently. Root begins forming more steadily. Alongside magnesium, several other minerals support this process. Calcium helps strengthen plant cell walls. This leads to sturdier stems and healthier fruit development. Potassium plays an important role in moving water and nutrients through the plant. It helps support flower formation and fruit growth. Phosphorus supports root development and early plant energy. Strong roots often lead to stronger harvests later in the season. Iron helps maintain healthy leaf color and supports the plant's ability to produce energy from sunlight. Each of these minerals contributes something different, but their real strength comes from working together. When this balance returns, plants often begin producing flowers more reliably. Those flowers eventually become the vegetables and fruits gardeners are waiting for. At this point, it is helpful to mention a gentle caution. While minerals are important, more is not always better. Adding large amounts of a single mineral can sometimes create a new imbalance. Plants may absorb too much of one nutrient while blocking another. For most home gardens, small adjustments work best. Adding minerals slowly allows the soil to adjust naturally. It also gives gardeners time to observe their plants. Small changes in leaf color, flower growth, or fruit production often appear within a few weeks. This patient approach is especially helpful for older gardeners who prefer simple habits rather than constant work, instead of rushing to fix everything at once. The garden improves step by step. Now this brings us to a question many gardeners ask. Why do improvements sometimes appear within about 30 days? The answer has to do with the strength of the plant's root system. Many garden plants already have strong, well-developed roots. Those roots are actively searching the soil for nutrients. If the missing minerals are restored, the plant does not need to grow an entirely new system. It can begin using those nutrients almost immediately. Flowers may begin forming again within a few weeks. New fruit starts developing shortly after. This does not mean miracles happen overnight, but it explains why gardeners sometimes notice meaningful improvements during a single growing cycle. Plants respond when the soil becomes balanced again, in the end. Many experienced gardeners discover something simple. The most powerful gardening habit is not always doing more. It is paying close attention. Healthy soil gives plants most of what they need. When gardeners observe carefully, they begin noticing small signals from their plants. A slight color change, slower flowering, smaller fruit. These signs are not failures. They are simply the garden communicating what it needs. Often the best response is a small adjustment, followed by patience. Before we finish, I would enjoy hearing about your own garden experience. If you are comfortable sharing, I'm curious how often you water your vegetable garden during the growing season. Every garden is a little different, and these small details can be helpful for other gardeners listening as well. Gardening does not have to be complicated. It does not require constant effort or heavy work. Very often the garden improves when we slow down, watch closely, and allow the soil to regain its balance. Sometimes the best results come from doing a little less, observing a little more. Because when the soil is healthy, the garden quietly does much of the work for us.